You played in a ton of big football games at OU, and then first season, obviously, deep playoff run. How do the NFL playoffs compare to like bowl games in college football? The atmosphere, just kind of the intensity, like the anxiety, maybe like leading up to the game. How is all that maybe similar, and how's it different?
Yeah, it's pretty similar, especially coming from a place like Oklahoma. You have the expectations on you every year. You're going to be one of the top teams. You're going to be able to make runs, play for championships, and things like that. So I think coming from Oklahoma, that really made it easier for me to go into the playoffs. I was able to kind of treat those games easier than probably some other rookies could, just because of me playing in those big games at OU. So I kind of had a grasp for what the atmosphere would be like and things. But obviously, playing in Arrowhead Stadium, I mean that place gets rocking. So the atmosphere it's intense there, and then when the playoffs came around, it got even more intense. But it was fun. It's a great place to play. Extremely loud, especially when the other offense is out there. So thankfully, I played for the Chiefs, and they're a little more quiet when we're out there.
Yeah. And now the game against the Bills in the playoffs is maybe in the game of the year in the National Football League. What was being part of that game like, man? Because it was like the last 2 minutes of that game were insane.
Yeah, that probably took a couple of years off my life in that game, but it was insane. It just felt like everything, on our side of the ball, everything was just flowing so great. Through those last 2 minutes and into overtime, we scored. I think they had like a minute and 15 seconds left or something like that, and they were able to go down and score two. So we had 13 seconds left to score, to tie it up, to take it to overtime. And just being on that sideline, everybody was confident. It was crazy, really. You got 13 seconds to drive it down the field and get a field goal and to take it to overtime. I mean, that's pretty tough to do, especially against a defense that is as good as the Bills. So it was definitely intense, but everybody was so confident. Everybody was calm, cool, collected on the sideline. We saw them score, and everybody's kind of looked at each other and said, "Well, let's go score again." So it's intense for sure. But when you got a lot of guys in the room that are so talented, you got great leadership in the room. It makes it easier in those situations.
So when that game's over, is there a feeling like, hey, this is our year? Like maybe it wasn't all along exactly like we thought it was going to be, but we're starting to play good football, having a little luck perhaps at the right time. Was there kind of that feeling as you head into the AFC Championship?
Yeah, definitely going through a game like that intense of a game, that close of a game, it's really, one of the best games in the NFL in the past couple of years. So being able to go through that and stuff, we have that kind of gave us a feeling of that we could, get through any situation. So it was definitely a game that, boosted our confidence and things like that.
For you personally, like just how you were feeling at that point in the season, like in the playoffs against the Bills and then in the AFC Championship game, like had you reached the point where you were just so confident, like, or was there still any, hesitation with not having experienced that stuff at all? Or like, had you been playing such good ball that you're like, it doesn't matter. Like, and those games were at home, which helps, but what were you kind of feeling personally in the playoffs?
Yeah, I went in pretty confident. Every team that we played in the playoffs, we played in the regular season. I knew the personnel I was going against, knew the schemes that the defense ran. So that definitely helps a ton too whenever you get to do that again. But for me, it was just playing confident and playing free. Don't let the pressure get to you. Obviously, you're gonna have thoughts and stuff creep up. Being a rookie, playing on such a big stage, but you got to be able to do a good job of just kind of suppressing those thoughts and thinking of what you can do and what you're able to do, what your talent lets you do, and what your confidence lets you do.
did you guys honestly, like, in Cincinnati was hot. Okay. They were hot at the time, but you had to be looking at it and saying, my goodness, we're in the AFC Championship. We got the Cincinnati Bengals. Like, this is, you got to feel good about that opponent, right?
Yeah, and we were excited to play them. They beat us in the regular season. I think that was week 16. We played them in the regular season. They beat us, and we were really wanting to get that one back. They were a good football team. We knew that, and yeah, it was just one of those games that we really wanted to get back.
I was there. What? And you and I, we talked about this in the parking lot a little bit after the game, but like, what happened in that second half? Like, what changed? Maybe you're still trying to figure it out, but I was literally celebrating with other Chiefs fans in the stands about like going to the Super Bowl. Because you guys had just been dominating that game, even not getting the points before the half. Like it had still been a completely dominant performance. So I'm not sure if you've gone back and watched that second half. Like in your opinion, what changed?
Yeah, I can't really pinpoint exactly what happened. Things just didn't go our way. We just couldn't really get a break on offense. Just kind of stalled out. It was tough, especially in that moment. It's tough because you're seeing it happen, in the second half, and you're trying to do whatever you can to get back to being in rhythm and, scoring again. It was definitely tough. I watched it a couple of times. Still really couldn't figure out exactly what happened, but it was one of those things that you put behind you now, and you look forward to this season. You're ready to just go get that one back.
It's kind of a weird moment. You spend so much time through preseason, and then the long grind of the season. Then you're going through the playoffs, and then like you're expecting to win the football game, and then all of a sudden it's like done. It's like over. And what now? So at that moment, like, how was it for you? Like physically, were you banged up? Like, how did you feel like whenever the season was over, whenever you got to finally kind of look back at it? Did you make it through healthy? Did you, I don't know, is there anything maybe like preparation wise with your body that maybe you would do differently? Or did you feel like totally prepared, ready to play another game? I feel fine. Let's keep rolling.
Yeah, I made it through the season healthy. Didn't really have any injuries or anything, knock on wood, but so I made it through the season. I definitely would have definitely been able to play another game, especially the Super Bowl. But yeah. I mean, it was, I made it through without any injuries or anything. But I ended up taking a few weeks off and just letting my body come back to me completely before I started, really working out and stuff again. But yeah, I mean, for me, I didn't have to wait too long to start working out just because I came out healthy. No lingering injuries or anything like that. So I took, I think, 2 weeks off and then started, training, weight room, conditioning, everything like that again.
This guy's a superhuman, Ted.
I know.
Just learn to accept it. Hey,
after
listen.
my rookie year, I felt like I was like, I can't fucking do this again.
My rookie year, I made it through 3 preseason games, and my knee said nope. It blew up.
For me, man, I'm a gym rat. So like, if I'm not in the gym, I don't really have anything else going on. I get bored at home. I can't just sit around. Yeah. That's just what I can do. So, trying to find hobbies and stuff to do, but I ended up just going back to the gym.
Hey, that's a good way to do it, man.
Yep.
That's a good hobby to have for your line of work.